Greetings, Skyfarers, and welcome to another episode of Sunless, guys. I'm Cobalt Thorium. Alright. So I think we're just picking up supplies here right now. Yeah. How we run out of so much food? Jeez. Alright, so I think we're gonna go up and explore this island here. Alright. You know, they think you'd think that they would have things like maps. Like, this is supposed to be London. This is supposed to be a fairly well-traveled area. Couldn't buy a map somewhere? Nope. I'm in the wrong place. Alright, let's go around this monstrosity. As usual, we'll send out an owl when we're sort of at the peak of the opposite side. See if we find anything new and interesting. Terror's ticking up a little bit. Not ideal, but maybe we'll come across another graveyard up here. Oh, it's a much smaller island than I thought. Okay, well, it's just a small piece of the secondary island, so we'll go check out the secondary island. Really? Laydaw's Coffee House. Sounds good. I do like myself some coffee. Alright, so we'll go back down to the lower portion, and then we'll pop back up here, and I just want to make sure that there's no other... Oh, it's close. Alright, that's probably good enough. Just want to make sure that there's no other landmarks for us to get a little bit of free experience from. I do like me some free experience. Much bigger island. I mean, it looks occupied. This could be it. Maybe the dock is just at the far side. Got some smoke coming out of some stacks right there. Send that now. We'll send out another one on the other side. Oh, what is this? Oh, yeah, this. We're gonna forbid it. Which will give us some terror. But we're a Christian boat. No pagan rituals here. Actually, it's a little bit deceptive because voodoo, believe it or not, is actually Christian. It's just like a really mangled, like, strange interpretation of it. It's perverted, I guess you could say. Not in a sexual way, it's just not what it originally was. It's been altered in strange ways. Send out another one. Man, that terror's getting really high. That's making me a little bit worried. Okay, what are... Oh, sweet. Let's go see what it is. I bet this is some kind of factory, a work world probably, not actually the place that we're looking for. For endurance, whatever. This is looking very factory. Whoa, what the? I do not like you. Go away. How do I get over there? Actually, this looks like a resort. What is this thing that's chasing me now? Go fight it. You're supposed to be keeping the peace there, mister. Alright, what do we find? The Worlbury-Juxta-Mare Palace Pier. Workers in neat uniforms guide your locomotive to rest. Tourist engines rest alongside trading engines. Crews trade gossip and delicacies. Signs in block capitals make abundantly clear that this is a place for pleasure. Welcome to Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. Worlbury-Juxta-Mare dazzles like a Fabergé egg, lamplit, rich brass, and Britain in Baroque. Okay, so we have Palace Pier, that's the only location we have for shops. Oh, this is pretty nice. Okay, we got crockery. Let's take a look at the bazaar. That's the same message as before. An auction on blue painted crockery. It's important that's blue painted. The recent death of a well-to-do widower has triggered an unseemly family squabble among the disposition of his estate. A different solicitor has been charged with auctioning off various of the deceased's unwanted belongings in order to cover the death duty. We will buy all of this. What is this? Oh, we need an establishment to do this. And while we're here, let's go to the market. The Juxta-Mare Market. This collection of eclectic stalls is patrolled by sharp-eyed surveyors, each bearing a book-burning badge. A burning book badge, rather. Than a lapel. Ooh, that's not looking so good. We're definitely losing money faster than we're gaining it. Okay. Worlbury-Juxta-Mare dazzles like a Fabergé egg. Okay. In the distance, carnival music mixes with faint cheering. A queue twists and snarls around the dock. Visitors are not allowed to just stroll about the port. They must be admitted. Every fortnight, Bureau of Entertainment holds a lottery to give out a number of Pauper's passes, which grant free admittance. The queue for these is long, but it's not the only way into the port. You can bypass the queue at the insistence of the authorities. A fox-jawed man, smartly dressed in Cobalt, takes notice of you. Crooks a finger. First time visiting Worlbury-Juxta-Mare, eh? Come in. Or come on, come over then. Or we could exchange ministry-approved literature for condemned experiments. Ooh. We can get condemned experiments here. Or rather, yeah. That's probably really good, because ministry-approved literature is something that we can get in much more abundance. Alright. Those who work at the cutting edge of scientific endeavor often wish to legitimize their profits. Worlbury's popularity provides an anonymous location for the exchange of goods. Go on. The representative of the Bureau of Entertainment introduces himself. We are a department of the Ministry of Public Decency, but we're entirely autonomous. We run this port for the benefit of weary travelers. He leads you past a queue. He doesn't even bother to grumble. Yes, I know. Queue jumping is terribly uncouth. But would you really rather be mingling with the proletariat when you could be enjoying yourself in our port? And I'm sure once you've seen what we have to offer, you'll need to come back again. He leads you to a fitting station. Everyone goes through this. There's a dress code. The Bureau of Entertainment wishes to encourage industrious captains to patronize the port. To this end, on a excuse me. To this end, on a captain's first visit, they are allowed in both without charge and without having to queue. How much do they usually charge? Oh, we need this. Okay, this is all new. The courtier is exquisitely attired. Burgundy tailcoat, cravat, brocaded vest in iron and ink. Okay. Breeches, boots, and a smile like a shark. Periodically, he checks a brass pocket watch, while the grin lengthens and diminishes in turns. He's here to supervise the attire of new visitors to port. In Worlbury, everybody dresses up to the heady styles of 50 years ago. The Bureau of Entertainment provides suitable attire for all visitors. What article of clothing are you going to base your choice of outfit around? Your choice of outfit has no impact on the port. It's merely an outlet for your whimsy. Really, is that true? Okay. Okay, so we could receive an explanation. The courtier flicks a glance at you. I'm sure you know the spiel, but I'm obliged to repeat it. Okay. I do a hat with dizzying cornucopia of grotesquely perfect millinery. London would weep in envy. Okay. I think that's right up my character's style, but a dress shirt? Why not both? Waiting your attention are armories heaving with lace and leather. Silk and cashmere. Everything that had ever elicited the envy of another. We could do a finely tailored coat. Draped across an army of smiling porcelain mannequins is an armament of coats of every size, all sumptuously designed, all perfect, just like you. A skirt, or maybe a kilt, or a bustle, or breeches. A glimmering sea of fabrics, tooled to fit any waistline or hip, line an enormous walk-in closet. Through the frills, you see undergarments. Oh my. Fabulous footwear. All the finery on display. The footwear is possibly the most avant-garde, with fashions that border on ludicrous. Exciting. We could back out and return to the dock. Fear somehow supplants common sense. Here, you'll have to wait an age to get back in. Sure, you'll have to wait an age to get back in here. But perhaps you'd do anything to escape the courtier's carnivorous grin. You'll have to queue again or pay your way back. There's no reward for taking this option. Alright, well, first let's get an explanation. In a droll voice, the courtier, who could be anywhere between 17 and 39, explains Worlbury-Juxta-Mare's the perfect holiday destination, enhanced by visitor adherence to the dress code. Do not fear, it is all to enhance the experience you have while with us. In addition, and as a reassurance about the stringless nature of our generosity, I wish to inform you the mists are corrosive and will eat through your regular garments. Really? We provide access to a full wardrobe of coats, waistcoats, frock coats, dresses, dress shirts, breeches, boots, bustiers, sure, and more, to ensure your own remain intact. We'd love to see familiar faces. It wouldn't do to put you off. Now pick one item, and I'll choose an outfit that suits it. Okay. The coat makes the most sense for our character. Just because it's the most practical, probably, in the cold skies above civilization. I do like this, though. A hat. What a dizzying cornucopia of grotesquely perfect millinery. I think I have to go with that. Like the most ridiculous hat possible. The courtier... the courtier summons a pair of pale children. Their stained glass eyes, a palette of emerald golds. They'll help you with anything that you need, ma'am. No favors too big, nothing too terrible. I'd ask that you don't request a bladder as a hat, however. I hate training new help. His assistants are as attentive as they are silent. Reverently, they offer possibilities in flattering headgear, fasteners, bowlers, top hats, even veils filigreed with milky blue seed pearls, and roses the red of a broken heart. When you finally dismiss the children, the courtier considers you for a long moment. He turns to the wardrobe and hands you several garments, all your size. Once you're dressed, he dismisses you, shooing you into Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. The condition of your clothes will limit your time in Worlbury. Really? Interesting. Worlbury-Juxta-Mare is precisely like every other weekend destination, shabbier than advertised and bristling with ways to spend more money than intended. There's more to Worlbury-Juxta-Mare than meets the eye. So you could write a port report. That makes a lot of sense. Alright, let's do a lot of these. So we could write a port report. Those who are anybody and those who are nobody come here to relax. The ports coming and going could be informative. We could explore a tiny lane bedecked with shops. A babble of shops and stalls sears the gaze with bold, mismatched colors. Probably do that and see if we can get some fabric. What was this? Okay, so we have a countdown of 5. Here is a path to the beach. No trip to Worlbury is complete without a jaunt along the beach. You should stroll to the shore where the mists wait in glittering coils. Here's a path to the beach. Okay, well maybe we'll do that too, but not right now. We can attend an exclusive exhibition of portraits. A popular portraitist is displaying his latest works. Your connections among the Bohemian set as secured as... Wait. Your connections among the Bohemian set... Oh, set has secured you a ticket. I gotta stop playing this game when I'm tired. I can't read. I'm going cross-eyed. Alright, so... What do we have here? So we still have 5 whatever, tired for Worlbury's. We have, you've not become familiar with the portraitist, which I assume we want to do. And we need 4 Bohemian, which we have. What is this? Patrick Devil. Okay. Okay, we can wander onwards. Nothing here catches your eye. This will reduce your attire for Worlbury-Juxta-Mare, but may open up new opportunities. Interesting. We could leave the dock. You've run out of diversions. It's time to go back to your locomotive. Excuse me. You'll have to trade, pay, or queue to re-enter the port. We could do an opportunity to purchase nostalgia crockery from a tea shop. Didn't we just pick up some nostalgia crockery? I think we did. Another day on Worlbury, another tea shop closing down. Oh, that's sad. Why they chose to open next door to each other will forever remain a mystery. A jumble sale to pay the remaining rent is going on. That's strangely worded. A jumble sale to pay the remaining rent is going on. Why not? There's a jumble sale going on to pay the remaining rent. Anyway, there may be an alternate opportunity in the off season if you have located it. All right. I think that the very first thing is the port report. In the face of candy floss, guards are let down. Presented with this much tea, defenses are dropped. This should have been a good place to gather information. Unfortunately, the screams of the donkeys render eavesdropping impossible. Still, even by itself, a list of visitors is certainly worth something. I think we can help the fire of the sun by also turning in these port reports, so... let's see if we can get some fabric in the bedecked with chops area. The frames shop, as it turns out, is not where you purchase corrective glasses. Instead, it hawks poor metaphors and second-rate similes. Okay. Phrases with which to inadequately frame a situation. Sounds useful. Not wanting to be impolite, you buy an apology for an upset stomach. Oh, hey, our tire's falling. That's nice. Your clothes have a shine to them as if abraded into softness. The longer you spend in Worlbury-Juxta-Mare, the easier it is to spot flaws in the facade. There, another detail. Not quite right. What do you mean by that? I feel like we should do the beach next, but I kind of want to do this one. The popular portraitist has found success with impressionist portraits of his latest muse, who is, he claims, a devil. A crowd of refined tastes mingle. Small crowd of refined tastes mingle, drink adequate wine, and concoct elaborate theories on the messages hidden in the paintings. You can examine the portraits. Each depicts his muse, who is, people speculate, his mistress, in a different pose or tableau, and is prefixed portrait of a devil. You can follow him to his muse's residence. Where is he keeping her? Who is she, really? You could lurk outside the gallery and follow him when he leaves. That sounds like something we can only do at the end. You could ask about his work and his muse. You hear the devils are not pleased with his work. Or you could take your leave, return to town, and the uncanny odors of the mist sea. Okay, well, let's first examine and see what happens. A fevered imagination. His work is striking, In each piece, he takes his muse's perfect features, her delicate lips, her impeccable nose, her amber eyes, the parabolic arches of her eyebrows, and arranges them in impossible configurations upon her face. In a study in solemnity, one of her eyes gazes at you from the center of her forehead. To muse at midnight, her mouth splays diagonally across a cheek. Sounds gross. Let's ask him about his muse. Hell hath fury. The Brazen magistrate in London has called his work a spiteful and irresponsible act of artistic calumny. Carillin's presiding devil calls him a grisly panderer of of avaricious character. Okay. I mean, I assume that has to do with avarice, but maybe I'm wrong. The portraitist pales. If hell is angry with me, he says, imagine their opinion of my muse. No, do not ask me about her. I will say nothing. Technically, the devils who follow London into the heavens are unaffiliated with hell, which they left behind. They are pariahs now. Still, old terminologies die hard, especially among those inclined to poetry. Let's examine one more time and see if it changes. No. I guess it only makes sense to follow him. Losing the trail, he leaves late, one hand securing his hat against the stiff sea breeze. You follow him beneath the lampposts and into a tangle of back streets and yards, where he vanishes after rounding a corner, as if he disappeared into the shadows beyond the gaslight. Where did he go? You may be able to pick up his trail elsewhere in Worlbury. Clothes are soft and comfortable, as if many years worn. Well, this one's new. The stop at Charming Tea House. Tea is always a good idea. In a universe of horrors, tea is never wrong. Well, that one just came up, so let's do it. The cafe throngs with well-coiffed geriatrics. The remnants. I just love how they're, you know, they have great vocabulary, and then they put together like these like very succinct but very interesting like, you know, descriptions, and then, you know, nouns like well-coiffed geriatrics. It's like, who thinks of that? It's almost like it was generated, you know, like in some kind of, you know, random term generator or something like that, where you're gonna have like, yeah, anyway. Maybe that's where they come up with the ideas. That's actually not a bad idea, because you're gonna come up with things that people wouldn't normally put together. Anyway. The cafe throngs with well-coiffed geriatrics, their remnants quaintly anachronistic. You acquire a lemon meringue tart and some hibiscus tea, both fabulous, and retreat to a plush chair where you spend the afternoon eavesdropping on a couple arguing furiously with shimmering ghosts. Really? Interesting. It appears traditional for patrons here to abscond with one piece of cutlery, something you can slip into your pocket, a teaspoon, a butter knife, a little pot for the jam, whatever best reminds them of the tea room. As such, you do the same, no reason to be impolite. Your clothes are thinning and tattering. It will not remain suitable attire much longer. My terror has fallen? Doesn't look like it. The longer you spend in Worlbury-Juxta-Mare, The easier it is to spot flaws in the facade. There, another detail not quite right. Where? I didn't catch it. The ghosts? Or the stealing? Oh, what is this? Yeah, that's a pretty good chance. I really wanted to go to the beach, but these other ones keep coming up. Ponder that strange, unearthly taste. A residue persists from that last cup of tea, a flavor like roasted chestnuts, and the color blue, like absinthe blue brewed in the belly of a star. I would say that absinthe tastes distinctly green. I mean, that is the color. Like, it is vividly, well, it's not always vividly green, actually. Actually, you could say it tastes black, because it tastes a lot like licorice, like black licorice. But, anyway. This enables you to investigate the weirdness of Worlbury-Juxta-Mare and offers a potentially rewarding opportunity. You will do it. What did we get? Oh no, we got some tar out of it. We got some tea out of it. Okay. The sour tang of that last sip resides in your palate, in the oily coating on your tongue. It is like, but not entirely dissimilar to, the more familiar teas of London. It would go magnificently with a fresh scone. Some aunt-manufactured jam. But the aroma is fundamentally incorrect. The citrus notes mingle with the nostalgia for a time that's never been. The warm spices heighten the anxiety that bubbles with every sip. This tea remembers how it came... Wait. This tea remembers how it will come to be made. It is a struggle to ignore the details. Okay, so this is a really interesting sentence. This tea remembers how it will come to be made. So is this like a time-traveling tea? Like, what? That's really interesting. But I also like this description. Some aunt-manufactured jam. Such a great description. Alright. I mean, because you wouldn't... Like, if something is, like, made lovingly by your aunt, you wouldn't usually call it manufactured, right? It would be like fresh made jam, you know, and it's just funny to mix those words together. Like, some of the writing in this is just really interesting. It's clever writing. I won't say it's necessarily, like, a lot of it's good writing, but these things are more like clever writing. It's like, it's not necessarily like good writing, but it's just like thinking about the way that writing usually goes and then making it slightly different to just make it more interesting. Anyway. In a place so bright and joy-filled, it's easy to be distracted. Whatever it was you noticed about Worlbury-Juxta-Mare, it's gone now. Oh. We gained a vision of heaven, though. And 2 caddies of dried tea. Clothes are threadbare, which means we're probably going to be out of here. Sucks. It's the same. We have one last thing we can do. You can stop at a charming tea room. We already did that once. Take a donkey ride. No trip around Worlbury is complete without a donkey ride. A man in a candy-striped suit bellows while his donkey drools a string of iridescent tumors. That's disgusting. Well, this is the new one. I'm going to do it. Thanks to your donkey's multitude of taloned legs. What kind of donkey is this? You find yourself enjoying an unusually scenic ride along the shore. Who knew that donkeys were such expert climbers? I knew. You are returned to the paddock of nervous customers intact and are only moderately traumatized. Okay. Time to be elsewhere. Alright, I guess Get him out of here. Worlbury-Juxta-Mare is precisely like... Okay, we've read that before, but we have this. As you spot what is not right, you start to see what is actually there. Like what? I don't see anything. So leave swiftly. Cold frissions down your spine, dragging your attention southwards. Oh dear, your clothes are in tatters. Seems like we are out of here. Your beautiful garments are nothing but rags now. Well-dressed onlookers gawk and giggle, whisper and point. You look bedraggled, shabby, and worst of all, unfashionable. You've exhausted these opportunities for now. Okay. Do we have the necessary paperwork? Oh, it only costs a ministry stamp permit. That's nothing. Oh, look at all this. Okay. Okay, we got lots of ways in here. This is great. Okay. Prove you are permitted to enter Worlbury. The ministry admits its own. And you have the necessary paperwork. Or we could prove you know the right sorts. You've done work for those important to the ministry. They will have heard of you. All we need is Fairman. All we need is favor with the chairman. That's true. We can get in here anytime we want. Gain admittance by supplying the port authorities. Someone unglued the ducks in one of the entertainments in the lanes. Many people won before anyone recognized the problem. The fair needs to replenish its stash of prizes. So we're gonna give them these things as prizes? Uncanny specimens? That doesn't sound terribly healthy. Gain admittance by supplying the port authorities. People will keep pilfering the cups for mementos. Replacing them is a constant chore. If you help the Bureau of Entertainment out, they'll let you pass the queue. Okay. Or could pay for entrance to Worlbury. The rich claim their willingness to pay is because their time is expensive. It's definitely not that this is an opportunity to flaunt their wealth. This enables you to both skip the queue and avoid donating to the port authorities. It's ludicrously overpriced, but perhaps you could afford it. That's a little overpriced. Or could inquire about the lottery. There's no indication as to when it'll next be held. It is at the whim. Is it at the whim of the port authorities? Well, we can always inquire. The queue snakes across the lip of the docks like an umbilical cord. Or a garland. Scalpers bark temptations, promising expedited access. Vendors patrol the undulations of the line, offering drinks, snacks, anything to spare the mind from the doldrums. Finally, a woman in tattered mourning attire answers, "It's every fortnight, more or less. You'll want to be near the front. They only give out a few passes. Don't want to dilute the quality of the clientele, I hear. It appears you'll have to come back later if you want to get in via the Pauper's Pass." Alright. So the cheapest and easiest way to get in here probably is this. Because we just bought this Creative Nostalgia crockery. So let's go back in and see if we can figure out what's wrong with this place. As soon as you've handed over your goods, the official clinks his fingers. Workers from the Bureau of Entertainment quickly commandeer your attention. A man and a woman appearing on each side, both exquisitely dressed, their smiles well-witted knives. Come already. The courtier doesn't like waiting. You need an outfit. Come. Okay. These are the same. We might as well go in order. So we'll do address. Address, sure. Why not both? Courier display. Courier deploys 2 gangly youths, both pale with eyes like the death of the day. Sunset colors to complement their uniforms. I hope you won't mistake this for a common establishment, ma'am. Wear anything you want. There are no rules here. No matter what you do, it feels like the courtier's assistants are there first, whisking your picks away to resize for your frame. They tug and tease at collars, lace up corsets with grace, adjust folds and hems so that every angle cuts like a cruel word. When you finally dismiss the youths, the courtier considers you for a long moment. He turns to a wardrobe and hands you several garments, all your size. Once you are dressed, he dismisses you, shooing you into Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. Okay, we have another new option here. We can ruminate on the nature of donkeys. They are very earthy animals. But where has their odor gone? The extraneous entrails they've shed. The vomit. What are you talking about? I mean, clearly they have an odor, but none of it is ever anywhere to be found. Do donkeys usually vomit a lot? I don't understand. This enables you to investigate the weirdness of the Worlbury-Juxta-Mare and a potential rewarding opportunity. Well, we have a very high chance, so let's do it. Give us a little bit of terror, I suppose. What are we up to? Come on, tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me? Please? Guess you won't tell me. For all the sounds the donkeys make, for all the viscera they disgorge. Why are they disgorging viscera? All the creatures they disembowel. What is going on here? They seem remarkably sanitary creatures. No trace of their refuse is anywhere to be seen. The beach remains spotless. But there, look, a donkey is vomiting ropes of gray intestine onto the sands. Oh, gross. Surely now bile and blood will reveal themselves, except they don't. The air flickers once again. Everything is completely hygienic. Are the mists dissolving it? I don't understand. As you become familiar with the oddities of Worlbury, more of the port will become available to you. Oh, so that's what's happening. In a place so bright and joy-filled that it's easy to be distracted. Whatever it was you'd noticed about Worlbury-Juxta-Mare is gone now. But we have another worldly artifact. We have a barrel of unseasoned hours. We have 2 more tales of terror, probably about donkeys vomiting up intestines or whatever. Okay, the clothes are starting to shred, and we have 5 new tales of terror and 1 new sky story. Well, this one's new. Clamber through the gnarled door. The door slides like a thief into the periphery of your vision. Too short to enter unless you crawl. You pry the door open. Inside is the throat of a short tunnel. Connective tissue, really. Leading out into a star-swallowed twilight. What's going on here? Is the mist hallucinogenic? A canal slicked with juices that cannot be so much seen as felt. Your journey begins here. Push through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Anyway. You press down. It sticks to you. Vernix and the warm reek of intestinal meat. Gelatinous and insistent that you remain where you are. Perhaps it is the Sisyphean nature of the travel. Perhaps it's careless. Whatever it is, the voice of the man ahead of you, salt dry and salt cold, comes as a surprise. "You're too late for the sermon too?" he hisses. "We mustn't be too late for the sermon." His hand grasps yours, tugs you through a translucent membrane, across the path, through church doors. You don't have time to observe the port. The air seizes you, cold as a corpse's kiss. Something about it is wrong. The bedraggled parson stands before his people, palms raised. "Today we stand before they who must grieve, to give praise to their sacrifice. Without them, there would be no joy, no agony against which we might juxtapose the sweetness of our existence. Don't ever forget this. If you forget all else, do not forget this." Alright. He raised an eyebrow at you. "A pleasure to meet a new member. Please join us later on the beach." Okay, we have a couple different options here. We listen to the murmuring sermon. You find a seat among the parishioners, their skin whorled with a strange pattern. Tentacular calligraphy that might, quite possibly, be flesh. You could talk to the cultist to your right, lean over and whisper to a diminutive old woman, her hair swaddled in gold filigree. Or you could talk to the cultist on your left. You share a quick dialogue with the restless-seeming individual of indeterminate age, gender, and species. Or we could depart. One can only bear so much of this droning purgatory. You rise to escape a congregation of shifting, somnambulant flesh. Great words. I really like droning purgatory. That's a great phrase. Okay. I want to know more. Well, I probably should have talked to the cultist rather, but the bedraggled parson paces across the stage, lit up from behind by his reverence, his conviction in the sutras of his speech. Here is a man assured of his precise place in the universe. And remember, next Tuesday, a baptism at the mists. All those looking to experience a closer connection with they who must grieve, come down to the shore. Alright, let's talk to the cultist on the right. Upon closer inspection, it becomes evident that it isn't hair that sits atop her skull, but thousands of delicate cilia. Excuse me. Still, alongside from that one anomaly, the woman seems normal and generous with her attention. I like coming here. The parson's got a good heart. No idea what he's trying to say sometimes, but he's got a good heart. He wants us to rise up, rise beyond who we are and what we are. We've just got to give ourselves to they who must grieve. That's how I got this. She strokes her hair in the mists. She leans in. But honestly, I'm only here because the parson's a pretty one. I wonder if this is like a Dagon thing. So in Dagon, which is a book by Lovecraft, he goes to a town where the deep ones start coming out. So they're like people with fishy features and stuff like that. Let's talk to the character on the left and see what happens. Hello. They burble gently at you, their voice like a chorus of brooks. You're new. When they speak, you can see that they do not, in fact, have tongues. but a mouth like the inside of an intestine, soft with pale villi. Ugh. Perhaps that's why they sound the way that they do. The Bureau does not like me in Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. They don't like me in the off-season, but I have seen they who must grieve, and I will remember that day always. It transformed my body, my mind, transformed my body, my mind, my heart. Well, this is a different message. The bedraggled parson stands before his people, palms raised. He clears his throat, but out of parturition of the first syllable, but before parturition of the first syllable, officials from the Bureau of Entertainment swarm into the chapel, howling like blood-drunk wolves. An unexpected intrusion. There is little resistance from the congregation, merely an affected resignation. The officers from the Bureau of Entertainment are civil as they evict the crowd. Once they've surmised that you do not belong, the officers leave you largely alone, occupying themselves instead with the task of extricating the parishioners. The bedraggled parson's disciples cooperate with only minimal contempt, moving where they're told, answering questions when they're asked. All in all, a courteous disruption. Come on then, let's go. The rictus smiles of the officers are identical in their splendor as the exquisiteness of their uniforms, the oiled shine in their dark hair. The Bureau of Entertainment is the branch of the Ministry of Public Decency responsible for the well-being and upkeep of Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. They take their duty seriously. So we could go about it. We could go quietly. They're too busy pulling parishioners to listen. You'll surely be able to explain soon. Or we could bolt from the officials. Sod this. You flee from the Bureau of Entertainment, enforcers who are quite naturally aghast by your audacity. Blah. Let's go quietly. Marched back from Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. Oh, actually, that's not what I meant to do. I thought we were going quietly, like escaping quietly, not go quietly with them. So I thought that it was like, two options. We could make a scene, or we could try to be stealthy. I was thinking that we were trying to be stealthy, but it seems more like, just from what I read at the top of that we're going quietly with them, like being evicted. Anyway. Marched back to Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. You really should have said something, coos a woman, box-shouldered and a fetchingly crocodilian. Is a crocodilian a thing? I think that there's a word missing here. A fetchingly crocodilian scarf, or something like that. Her smile, something scrimshawed into her jaw. Why didn't you say anything? Oh well, too late now. The bruisers are coming, I promise. Now, off with you. Back to Worlbury, back to civilization. She thrusts you through the exit and bolts the door behind you. The journey burns like the birth of a star, boils beneath your muscle. Alright, we have a couple different options here that seem new. We could go to the office of the Bureau of Entertainment. It is perched on the lip of the boardwalk, so close to the beach that its rails almost touch the wind-blasted pebbles. Here you'll be able to betray the cult and forge a different alliance Just entering the office is not a betrayal, however. Or you can slide across to the off-season. Leads from your teeth, the story that grants you passage, guilt-rinded and sour. Oh, how beautiful. The chandeliers dripping with diamonds, gilt-limbed cornices of marble, baroque atria, so magnificent you drive one to tears, all leading to a sumptuous little office, its walls painted gold by candle flame. The toy maker, who looks like an amber-cast cousin to the courtier, sits at a desk, mending plush toys. He glances up. If you're here to assist, you may speak with me. So we could talk about the cult, or the state of the port, or of how you can assist the authorities. It probably would be good to break up the cult, but I am interested in what they're actually doing. Although I suppose breaking up would tell us that too, but not necessarily. So then we could offer to help the officials at the Bureau, stop the cult for everyone's sake. The toy maker flutters a hand. It's aesthetically displeasing and dangerous. Or we could return to Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. You abscond from the offices and scurry away to the commercial clamor of Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. I don't think we know really what we want to do yet, so I don't really know what to do. I suppose we could go to the beach. This is a beach, of course. It is a beach. What else could it be? It is a stretch of pale particulates in rolling mist. The air smells of salt and things that mummified in the sun. Whoa, jeez. Of cinnamon and licorice. It is pebbles and grass, or is pebbles and grains of blue grass. Tendrils of something curious and organic, worm-like fungus. Oh, geez, worm-like growths. My brain is filling in words because I'm so tired. Tendrils of something curious and organic, worm-like growths tufting through the sediment. This is exactly what beaches are. You walk down the beach. You promenade down the palish sand, be careful where you step, or could return to Worlbury-Juxta-Mare's arcade. You lazily wander back towards the arcade, your clothes soaked from proximity to the mess. Let's go ahead and chance it. A stroll. Ah, isn't it nice? Inhale the crisp air. Ignore the way the licorice stink clots in your lungs. Gross. Viscous as a swallow of black oil. This click is not working. Oh, because I can't click on that. Well, this rubbery lump seller is new. Let's go ahead and try that. It tastes precisely as advertised. Hot, rubbery, faintly sweet, with a dashing of mirin and brown sugar. An aftertaste reminiscent of roasted berries, like a memory of better days. You graze on a palmful of lumps before putting the rest away. Tire's fallen, and our tire sucks. Worlbury-Juxta-Mare is precisely like every other weekend destination. We've read that before. What happened with this? Nothing? Let's try once more. Oh. I don't really want to do... Well... Alright, I guess we're out for now. So we've explored this place a little bit. Did we get any new missions from it? Does not appear like we have any new missions. So we've explored Worlbury-Juxta-Mare. I feel like there's a lot more here, but I don't know if we can find it right now, and I'm so tired. Alright, so I will catch you guys in a later episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, maybe comment, maybe subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.